Hi, friends. We made it. It's a Friday. Or as John Morant's dad calls it, a Fry-yay. If you know what I mean. Happy Friday. Patrick Harris with you. That's Danny. That's Danny Morant to my left. Let's have a little fun today, guys. It's a Friday show. We're only here for 2 hours.
Oh, that's right. Any particular reason?
I think NBC released their baseball schedule.
Oh.
It's probably a holiday.
Mm-hmm. And the Blazers play tonight, too.
And the Blazers play tonight.
Yeah.
They do.
They do. I'm gonna
That's why we're out early.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Daniel. I will most likely not catch the Blazer game tonight.
That's allowed. I will be split screening it.
How do you? Ooh, let's dive into this real quick. You know, sometimes I love hearing about your job outside of this building because it's so different than mine, but you do it every day. So like sometimes when you talk about it, I'm like, oh man, that's kind of cool. Oh dude, that's dope. But you do it every day, so the shine kind of wears off. When there's a game like tonight, and in case you didn't know, we were talking about the Oregon-Indiana game tonight that you can catch right here on the Fan Sports Network. How do you do it? Like, you got an eye on it, obviously, but you have to be
present.
You can't half-ass watch the game. Watch the basketball game.
No. And so the good thing is tonight, kickoff's at 4:30. So I'll get to the arena. Normally I get there probably around 4:15, 4:30. I will probably get there at 4, make sure anything I got to do, I'm going to take care of a little earlier. And then we've got monitors both in the media room and in the press conference room. And so we'll all be watching, like, Casey Holdall's a Duck. So, there's a bunch of Ducks that work for the Blazers or in media.
The only people host are KC and Lamar.
I mean, it'll be on. They'll be doing their game prep, but we'll all be watching in the media dining area. We've got 2 big screens in there, so that game will be on everywhere. And then on Media Row, we have stats monitors. Well, those stats monitors are hooked into the cable. Every single one of those stats monitors will be flipped over to the game.
Yes.
And if I want to have stats, I'll have it up on my laptop. So the Blazers, I want to say like 10 other teams provide a stat service. It's live. So it's called Hoops OMG. And it's literally synced up with the arena. So they enter it, it's there. So that's how, if you're watching at home, number one, there's a delay. But number two, I can see anybody who's logged into that service can see whatever stat immediately. Like
that's awesome.
There's a little bit of a delay on like ESPN and the Real app and all the other services. So I'll have that up on my laptop so I can move the stats from there to there.
Sure.
But we'll all be watching that game. And to be honest, these home series where you play the same team twice, usually whatever happens in game one, throw that out. The other team is going to waffle stomp the other one.
Okay.
I don't know which way it's going to go.
Right, but somebody is going to get out to a big lead. I guess that's what's wild is because does anybody know off the top of their head when the game ended last night? The Miami Ole Miss game?
No.
But, I mean, I would think kick was at 4:46. I think I heard the guys say this morning. 4:46 was a kick, which means that game probably ended at 8:30?
Somewhere right around there.
8:30, so you're at halftime. If this game tonight is close,
I can lean in.
you can lean in.
I can do the lean forward.
I mean, I guess it's first half NBA. Not to poo-poo that sport too much.
All right,
but
look.
You've got some wiggle room.
I've got a wild idea for you guys.
Hit me. I love wild ideas.
Say you got 2 sporting events going on at the same time, and you need to watch both of them, like almost in their entirety.
Okay.
Have you heard of the DVR?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, man, I've talked about this at length, dude. The DVR is a tough world for me to live in for 2 reasons. One is
avoiding spoilers.
One, I have to shut down all communication.
Well, see, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Right. No, of course.
It's going to be everywhere around me. So
yeah.
what I will do, because this one is obviously different, because there'll be roars from the crowd, because people will be watching in the arena.
Well,
Like
see,
it's going to happen.
For a regular sports fan, that's a different thing. Yes, unplug, avoid the notifications and whatnot. For us, guys like us, it's like, hey, we might know the result before we go back and watch it, but we still need to kind of go back and watch how the sausage got made.
Yeah, no, I'll go back and watch the Oregon-Indiana game, like, unless one team just houses the other.
I think what's tough,
and also the best part is that you take an NBA game, if you're watching it on the DVR, it goes
watch the condensed.
It goes from a 2.5 hour broadcast to an hour and a half. Yep. You go to a college football game, it goes from 3.5 hours to 2.5.
I can pull it up on Synergy and I can watch just the minutes, and so it becomes a 50-minute game.
Yeah, see, there we go.
It's super tight.
What's really difficult for me is when I know it's recorded and I know I have the ability to fast forward.
Oh, it's beautiful.
No, sometimes I'm just like, Man, I'm kind of bored right now. I'm like the meme with the dude with the stick. I'm like, come on, do something. Ooh. Or I could just fast forward to somebody doing something. And I hate experiencing that way.
Yeah.
Like, I will sit through commercials. I won't, let me put it this way. Like, my best friend's dad, okay? He's a big Timbers guy. He records Timbers games, but then doesn't play them for about 15, 20 minutes after kick.
So he can skip through the commercials?
So he skips through halftime. So he can just watch it. And
there were several years where I would do that with Blazer games. I'd wait until about 45 minutes or so after tip and then turn on the DVR recording and skip through all the crap.
And I give him a lot of credit for that. Shout out my boy Dan. That's tough for me. Because if there's like a lull in the game, I'm like, well, I have all this time I can make up. And I'll just fast forward. And I don't like doing that. So I'll just sit through commercials. Like, I don't really care. I got to go pee. I need to grab a beer, whatever it is. I don't mind. Now, in tonight's instance, as let's see here, Dustin's saying on the YouTube chat, the Blazer game tonight is not, the Western Conference Finals. It is not a giant landmark game. No offense, but it's a midseason basketball game against the Houston Rockets that you can DVR and watch after the Duck game. Because I don't know if they're going to scroll stats underneath on the bar that's going to ruin the game for you.
Right, but
I don't think I could watch the Blazer game live and then go watch the Duck game.
My only point was Danny has a more unique circumstance than most all of us in that he has to consume that live and then, perhaps DVR the best football game of the weekend.
Yeah, no, I'll have to come back to it because, when we come back on Monday, what we'll be talking about is Oregon, Indiana, unless, not even unless we will. That'll be the dominating conversation.
What would have to happen for us not to talk about Oregon, Indiana on Monday?
I mean, we would still
the
talk about
sun not rise.
Well, no, like Denny Avdia going for like 79 points.
Well, we would still get to Oregon, Indiana.
That's what I'm saying,
do you mean lead the show, or do you just mean in general?
I think no. I think like not even just lead the show, but like the something so astronomical would have to happen in Blazers Rockets. It would have to be historical for it to not only like knock Oregon Indiana out of the lead, but to be probably in the first hour.
I think we would have to have like a Bane Batman moment, like in a stadium.
Yeah, that's what, like it has to be like so
that.
like he would legitimately have to like push like 80 points for that to happen.
I still don't think it would lead. If Denny had 80 tonight, I don't think it leads Monday.
No, it won't.
No.
It won't.
Oregon could get boat raced by 35 points tonight, and it doesn't.
We'll get
Blazers
it at 12:30, or excuse me, 10:30.
At 10:30, what do you mean?
10:30. The Blazers game.
Oh yeah.
Denny scores 101. It leads.
10:30.
No, it leads.
Still. Sorry.
101.
It leads.
101.
101. It leads.
101 might lead.
It leads. Yeah.
But it doesn't bleed, therefore it's not.
There you go.
As Rufio points out, what if Tiago Splitter gets arrested by the FBI?
That leads.
That leads. That leads, my friend.
Dirt and Sprague go for an extra hour.
Oh, they can go for an extra hour if they want. I'll come in at 11.
I'm sorry. That was us that went for an extra hour.
Yes.
That was
right?
us.
Blowing out the Duck Insider.
Yep.
Duck Insider. I hardly know her.
Does that joke ever get old for you?
No, it doesn't for
Yeah,
me.
no,
I'm a juvenile.
Look at us all sportsing.
I'm feeling good, baby.
It's a fun day today, that's for sure.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I just hope, and we'll get into a lot of Oregon, Indiana today, of course. Funny, we're not leading with Oregon, Indiana. I just hope the game tonight is as exciting and fun as the game was last night.
I mean,
From an entertainment standpoint, like I am Russell Crowe standing in the middle of a Coliseum yelling, "Are you not entertained?" You know, the stats are wild. The shifts in momentum are wild.
everyone we talked about: Kawan Lacey, Malachi Tony,
Everyone showed up.
Chambliss, Carson Beck.
Everyone showed up. Everyone played a piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even Ole Miss's kicker,
Mhm.
which I don't know if we mentioned.
Gracious.
But like everybody, you know, it was Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
Basically. Like
the portals were opening.
Everybody that needed to show up showed up, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Side note, because I want to get into the game, we might not get to it. Did you see Mario talking to Scott Van Pelt last night?
No, I didn't.
Scott Van Pelt is interviewing Mario Cristobal. He's on the field. They've won the game. And Scott's talking to him about what this means. And you know, Mario's puffing his chest pretty good, as he should.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of Mario doubters out there, haters, myself included.
Look, he has beaten A&M, Ohio State, Ole Miss.
Yeah. And I think if they would have played Georgia, I think he would have beat Georgia. So, like, I give him all his flowers in the world for that. Scott Van Pelt says, I know you don't like this, but I got to ask, and Cristobal cuts him off and says, Scott, you're a professional. Don't do that. Don't do that.
The Miami is back.
Yep. Yeah. And Mario then turned his back from the camera while he was telling Scott Van Pelt to be a professional and don't ask that question.
You don't do that to SVP.
SVP handled it like the pro Mario was telling him, but the cojones
was it a scolding?
Kind of. Yeah, kind of. It was awkward as somebody watching it. You know, we talked yesterday, we talked to our good buddy Danny Cannell, and we had on 10 Toes Down about Cannell and his long form and his history. That guy, I mean, I've probably consumed more Scott Van Pelt than any other ESPN personality.
Oh, God, yeah.
Especially currently. I mean, I grew up a big Dan Patrick, Stuart Scott, Kenny Mayne kind of guy.
Rich Eisen,
Rich, all those dudes. But post Sports Center life, Scott Van Pelt, before he was the dude, I consumed a lot of his content, and I really, really like him. I think he's the best in the game at what he does. And Mario very much poo-pooed all over him.
Interesting.
Yeah, very, very much so. Maybe I'll find the audio and we can play it at some point. But it was awkward. It was awkward because you're trying to root for a Mario Cristobal who is unlikable to some, who deserves to get some credit for what he's done. And not some credit, a lot of credit. And it's a little Lane Kiffin where it's like, dude, in 3 weeks, you've completely flipped the narrative on. Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
There he is. Be a professional. Don't say it, Scott.
I want to give Mario a little bit of credit.
I kind of do, too.
Because this is not the first time he said this.
I know. I kind of do, too. I think it's just who he's doing it to.
Yeah, but if you can't say it to him, who can you say it to?
That's fair. Well, and if you can say it to him, who can't you say it to?
That's what I mean. Like, it's one of those things where it's probably a little awkward, but in that vein, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Is
Miami back?
Throw it up. Throw up to you.
Oakley Dokley, we got a great show for you today. We are only 2 hours as we will get bumped for the Duck pregame show down at the Thirsty Line in Washington Square. Andy Dirt Johnson, Anthony Newman on site to get you ready for that game tonight. But first, let's get into this here. Is the U back? Miami punches their tickets to the national championship. We'll do that next. 105.1 The Fan. 10:18 here, Portland Sports Leader, baby. Don't you forget it. We're live from the shadows of the historic Fremont Bridge. There's the 503-864-6326. She'll let you interact with us throughout the entire day. Also, shout out over on the YouTubes, y'all out there. And I will acknowledge this texter who is going to tell Rufio to kick rocks because I did not see the text line before giving credit about Tiago being arrested by the FBI.
I mean, multiple people texted in. That's the funny part.
I was just about to say, multiple of you all were all on the same wavelength. You sick humans.
What could possibly make you think of that?
They got me all wet.
Jake out in the bullpen out there goes, what if he got arrested by the IRS? I was like, that's just rich people crime, man. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about that at all. We will continue our jaunt through the NFL playoff picture as well. We have 3 teams left, and dare I say these are the 3 teams with probably the best Super Bowl aspirations of them all, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Buffalo Bills, and the Los Angeles Rams today. Basically, it's those 3 teams, this game, and Oregon, Indiana. That's our day today, Danny. Should be a pretty fun one, and let's get right to it. Miami defeats Ole Miss 31-27 in the college football playoff semifinal at the Fiesta Bowl. This game had it all. If you look at the team stats, Dirt and I were laughing this morning about this. If you just looked at stats and didn't show me the score, I would think Miami won by 100. Third down efficiency, Miami's 11 of 19. Ole Miss is 2 of 10. Time of possession, 41 and a half minutes by Miami, 18 and a half minutes by Ole Miss. The amount of plays ran, the discrepancy in the amount of plays ran is insane. Yet Ole Miss found a way to stick in this game and go up late.
This is a very weird and rare circumstance where both teams played their styles and excelled. Miami played slow and ground it down. Ole Miss played fast and scored quickly. And it worked for both of them.
Yeah, usually somebody gets the advantage.
One takes a hold. You know what I mean? Like,
go back to the Indiana-Oregon game that we talk about. Oregon did not get to play their game. And Indiana
took the ball from him and said, good luck.
Played their game and won and punched him in the face doing it. You're right, Danny. That's a good point. I never thought about it that way, that 2 teams, usually one breaks.
One style is imposed on the other.
Yep.
This is counter-puncher. You know, like looking to land that haymaker versus the steady jabber. Because that's what this was. And the interesting thing about it is, as good as Miami's defense is, whose defense was the one that made plays?
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss was the disruptive one.
Yep.
Ole Miss got the interception. Ole Miss got the sacks. Ole Miss got the TFLs. Like, that's like the weird thing about this. But Miami ran the ball 51 freaking times.
Led by Mark Fletcher Jr., who was just a beast. I knew Ole Miss was in trouble on the play when Fletcher had about a 4-yard carry and his O-line pushed him to a 15-yard gain. At that moment, I was kind of like, oh, this might be big boys versus little boys a little bit. Yeah, Hogs up front. Miami's
offensive line is one of the best in the country.
They really came to play. And I think you nailed it best when we were kind of teasing this segment in the first opening of the show. Everybody that we said had to come to play came to play, which is what made this game so exciting. Trinidad Chambliss, let's start with him. Electrifying. At any moment he had the football, you thought something could happen. When he heaved the Hail Mary at the end,
you're like, this has a chance.
100% it had a chance.
Look, I'm going to get this out of the way right now. It was a PI.
I agree.
It's a PI. We all know they never call it, but he grabbed him and pulled him to the ground. Ole Miss fans, I get it. You have every right to be livid.
Do you know where both those guys transferred from? The wide receiver and the DB? Wazoo.
Oh.
I will say, the only thing that I can think of is that perhaps it was a touch uncatchable and too far out of bounds.
Yeah, maybe, but Danny's right, though. They just don't call
by
that.
a thumbnail.
But I mean, he grabbed and ripped him down.
No, I'm not wrong.
I thought I was watching Tua again.
When he let it go, you went.
I was like,
oh, you know what it reminded me of? Jaden Daniels against the Bears.
There you go.
When he let it go, it was like, oh, that's got a chance.
Because normally dudes just huck a ball and you're like, we'll see.
No, it had touch on
it.
You're like, oh, he's not just throwing it to a jump ball. He's throwing it to someone.
23 of 37, 277 yards and a touchdown. He also had 5 carries, 7 yards, not much there, but you saw him. He was the electric Trinidad Chambliss, we thought. And to your point again about like playing your style, if Miami plays the way they played, I assume Chambliss did nothing.
Yeah.
But he still had those moments.
And Quan Lacey broke off the longest rush that Miami's given up in like 9 years.
High.
Yeah.
I mean, Ole Miss lived and died by explosive plays.
But that's what they do. But they got him.
They got him, and I think
They had 4 wide receivers with catches over 20 yards.
I think something that we knew was going to be a big player in this game, getting off Chambliss and the electrifying plays. Dare I say Malachi Toney more electric than Trinidad Chambliss?
Every time he touches the ball,
17, 18-year-old?
Yeah. Every time he touches the ball, he's terrifying. It's not Reggie. It's more D'Anthony Thomas.
Sure.
Where
yeah.
like you're scared. It's not every single time he touches the ball that he could house this, but it's damn close.
He only had 5 catches in the game.
Mhm.
All 5 of those catches were important.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a little 4-yard screen.
When he took the screen and gone.
But it wasn't just a screen to pick up 4 yards and move it to second down. No, it was every time I catch the ball, something is going to happen.
Terrifying.
This game was wildly entertaining. And hats off to Carson Beck. We talked yesterday about him. How
Mario unleashed him.
He had to protect the football. He threw a pick. And I was worried that was going to be the sinker. But boy, that fourth quarter, that last drive, cool.
Looks over to the left and said, "Thank you." Do you know what Carson Beck's career is as a starter? His record?
No, I don't. Was he got like 6 losses total?
37-5.
Wow.
Danny Kanell was spot on. Over the last couple games, Mario he went game manager. Mm-hmm. He didn't need to unleash Carson Beck. This game he did because, look, A&M, with Marcel Reed just short-circuiting, and Ohio State's offense, we kind of knew. Look, I know Ohio State put up points, but they played nobody. They nobody. And as efficient as Julian Sayin was, every time they played somebody, he did nothing.
It was the biggest thing for us going into that Ohio State-Miami game. What's Julian Sayin going to do?
Just not enough yet.
Not enough.
Now, next year and the year after that,
he might be wild.
He's going to be pretty damn good. But Carson Beck had to do it this game, and Mario didn't play scared. Now, he still ran the ball 51 times. Carson threw the ball 37 times. Him and Chambliss both let it go. They both completed the same amount of passes.
I was telling you before the show, like, I lived that touchdown that Carson Beck ran in. I lived that play with him. He's scrambling to the right a little bit, shuffling around the pocket, going through his progressions, okay? He's looking to his right, going through his progressions. I'm looking over there, too, on the TV, looking, okay, none of these receivers are open. What the hell is it? Oh, and my head turned to the left side of the field the same time Carson did. And I felt like spirit animal almost a little bit with Carson Beck as I saw that, and I was like, oh, hey, bud, why don't you just go that way? And Carson Beck had this demeanor in him in the moment of, oh, why don't I just go that way? It was extremely heads-up play. I don't know if that was the design, overload the right side and leave that option over for Beck, or if it was a happy coincidence. Because from a defensive standpoint, if you're Pete Golding, you're looking over at that left side, your right side, the offense's left side, you're kicking yourself today. If you're looking at that game tape, or last night you're looking at that game tape, and you see how empty almost half of the side of a field is, you got to be kicking yourself. Because after that, it was over. It was over.
You know on that play what's going to happen defensively. You're very likely going to get press man.
Yep.
It's because you have to.
You have to.
And because Miami's ability to maul, your run, fits, and zone are always going to be a little bit dicey when it's that close. But you do what you have to do. You have to deny. Beck's not a guy that you're terrified. It's not. Let's reverse the roles. If that's Trinidad Chambliss, you maybe need to bring the blitz.
Without a doubt.
To get him to get rid of the ball and have your contained.
You don't expect Carson Beck to run a 20-yard touchdown right there.
No. And so, everything clears out. And I'm sure that's part of the development of that play is that you're clearing that side. And it gives you the opportunity to go, okay. And Beck's athletic enough. Like, he's not the best athlete we've ever seen in the position, but he's athletic enough.
Well, yeah, it's just the experience. Yeah. Peyton Manning runs that ball in.
And that was one of the things, like, I'm a Peyton.
Yeah, dude, I think so. That's how empty it was.
Yeah, it was that empty, but, Peyton was slow. Him and Braids. Not guys you're really worried about turning the corner.
They're both running that ball in.
Yeah.
That's how it was. And I think for a team that, I'm going to read this text here in a moment, for a team that kind of statistically looked like they had no business being in that game, can you imagine if Beck doesn't score that touchdown there? Ole Miss wins that game.
Yeah.
with no business deserving. I'll read this. Can't win a game when you don't do anything right in the trenches. Ole Miss was horrendous at tackling, probably the worst I've seen. Ole Miss got little to no pressure on Beck. Ole Miss allowed 5 yards per carry. I can't believe they were in that game. Exactly. Because they played their style. They played fast, explosive, and caught Miami when they weren't really, I don't want to say paying attention, but.
Wait, did he say that Ole Miss got no pressure on Carson Beck?
Talking about their offensive line.
Ole Miss? The way I'm reading that, yeah, Ole Miss was horrendous in tackling. Ole Miss got little to no pressure on Beck.
But in open field tackling, they were rough.
Oh, okay, yeah, but little no pressure on Beck. Are you kidding me? They sacked him 4 freaking times.
Is that how many sacks it was?
Yes, they got to him.
This game was strange from the jump for me.
Yeah, no, they got to Beck. They got to him and they turned him over.
I had no idea how to watch this game, so I just sat down and watched.
No, I mean, like, honestly,
Do you ever turn it off? Like, do you ever just realize you're not a sports broadcaster anymore and you just want to be a fan?
Oh, yeah, no, for
That's
sure.
me last night a little bit.
I mean, Ole Miss, like, the thing that they don't do, they don't turn teams over and they don't get sacks.
Mm-hmm.
That's the flaw of their team is they aren't a high-pressure defense. They got the interception. They got the sacks. They got the TFLs. They got defensive, like, gotcha plays.
Part of it is what kept them in this game.
Yes.
You know?
The difference is Miami's counterpunch to that was keep the chains moving. 11 of 19 on third downs.
Controlled
That's
ball.
that's nutty. That's nutty.
Shout out to Miami as they defeat Ole Miss 31-27. Early spreads on the national championship. If it's Indiana, Miami, it'll be Indiana favored by 5.5. If it is Oregon, Miami, Oregon would be favored by 2.5.
Okay, because they're saying Indiana's a 3 over Oregon. Okay,
Yeah. What is that? Transitive property a little
but
bit
also
there.
here's the thing that I think that's not probably being. I mean, it is being factored in, but probably should be factored in a lot more. Where's the national title game being played?
Well, that'd be in Miami at Hard Rock.
It's a home game.
Yeah, it's a home game. That place is going to be rocking. Over under 15 former players that we know
Over
at the game.
Every Miami player we know is at that game.
Ken Dorsey.
They have
at
a
this
mural of Sean Taylor at the game.
Willis McGahee.
Every one of them.
Frank Gore.
Every one of them.
Yeah.
Ray Lewis was out there for the coin toss with Irvin.
Does Clinton Portis look like
Throw on the mouse ears.
Cam Newton out there?
Do it. Do it.
Let's slide over to the NFL and let's get into our finishing up our teams in the playoffs. We'll go with the Super Bowl champions that not a lot of people are feeling great about. We'll get to Philadelphia next, but first there's Rust with sports.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Duck fans, the Peach Bowl is here. 4:30 on ESPN. Your number 5 Oregon Ducks against number 1 Indiana for the right to face Mario Cristobal and Miami for the national championship. The Ducks are 3.5-point dogs. Coverage here on the Fan starts at noon. Dirt, Anthony Newman live from the Washington Square Thirsty Lion for Ducks game day. Stick around after network coverage for the Ducks post-game scoreboard show with Joe Fisher and Jordan Schultz. The Trailblazers have won 4 straight, 6 of their last 7. They host the Rockets tonight, 7 o'clock tip on KUNP. That is 2.2 on your antenna. Xfinity Channel 302 or 1016 for you fancy 4K folks. Jeremy Grant, Chris Murray are both out. Drew Holiday upgraded to doubtful. He's been out since November 14th with a right calf injury. The Blazers are 6.5-point dogs. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for Seahawks football, the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Don't you worry, friends. At the 11 o'clock hour, we'll get to Oregon, Indiana. Got a little bit of housekeeping to do. We spent all week trying to figure out, how we do this, how we approach everything, blah, 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 blah. And then I realized we only have 2 hours a day, and we could actually really use that third hour. I feel like we're not giving stuff enough attention today due to that. Just me over here? Okay. All right.
Big gulps.
Just by myself, huh? But let's get into this. We'll get to our final 3 NFL teams for the playoffs this weekend and kind of just how we got here, what they look like, their chances for the future, their chances for the playoffs now, and what has really kind of gone well for them and gone bad. And we get into the reigning Super Bowl champs. That is the Philadelphia Eagles. They won the NFC East. I believe they won the NFC East 2 years in a row for the first time. Somebody in that division in 10 years? Something crazy like that.
And they ended the season 3-4
with an 11-6 record. Yes, Danny, to your point, 3-4 to end the season, and
they limped in at 11-6.
It's pretty wild. And they're the 3 seed. They will take on the 49ers. Danny's fraudulent 49ers. Look. Anytime you win a Super Bowl, you get a bullseye on your back. It is very, very hard to repeat in this league. In my lifetime, I've only ever seen 2 teams do it. The New England Patriots the New England Patriots won twice in a row, and the Dallas Cowboys have won twice in a row. Outside of that, I don't think there's anybody else, right? Chiefs win 2 in a row? Chiefs did win 2 in a row. So there's 3, 3, Chiefs 2 in a row. It's very, very hard to do, and you're seeing that with this team, and some of it is a little Detroit-esque as well. You lose some coordinators. Anytime you have success, people want to poach people that got you there. And that's been the theme of the story for these Eagles team is the departure of Kellen Moore, taking on a head coaching job. Because that's the most alarming thing for me in this team. I want to throw the Commanders game out because Hurts didn't play. There was nothing to play for. It doesn't really matter. But against teams of value this year, their offense, 13 points against the Bills, 19 against the Chargers, 15 against the Bears, 16 against the Lions, 10 against the Packers. Now, before that, they have games, they lost to the Broncos. There's only 17 points.
Yeah, but they beat the Rams 33-26.
Exactly.
They beat the Bucks 31-25.
Beginning of this season, it's kind of like, okay, we're business as usual. You lose to the Broncos. They're an up-and-coming team. You don't have a problem with it. You have a weird game the next week where you lose to the Giants. But this offense is front and center of what's wrong with this team because there is no doubt this defense is very, very good.
Oh, the defense is nasty.
Just people on paper, it's nasty.
So what's interesting is, do you remember the Devonta, A.J. Brown of it all? Like, not that those two were ever going at it, but A.J. was getting whiny about not getting touches and not getting targets. Despite 2 less games, A.J. finished with 7 or 8 more targets than Devonta.
I'd love to see the number of targets per game because I feel like A.J. Brown started bitching his life away got what he wanted.
No, that's exactly what happened. He finished. A.J. Brown had 15 games, 121 targets. Devonta went 17 games for 113, so 2 less games, 8 more targets.
Yeah.
That's a significant. They finished 5 yards apart. Devonta had 1,008. A.J. had 1,003.
Which is such a weird thing for A.J. Brown to be so pissy about because they're such different wide receivers. Schematically, body type, everything.
Devonta's one stretching the field. A.J.'s playing the underneath.
Yeah. So I never understood that, but that's also part of it, of what happens when you win a Super Bowl.
And Saquon Barkley finished with 1,400 total yards. Oh, wow. Really,
such a bad year.
Really disappointing.
But that's kind of what happens sometimes in these situations. When you win a Super Bowl, not only are you losing personnel in terms of coordinators, et cetera, stuff like that, some guys get chips on their shoulder. Some guys think their farts don't stank, you know what I mean? And become disruptive.
No, especially at that position.
I'm not the biggest Sirianni guy because I feel like
he's not good at handling that stuff.
I feel like he is handling it the way he wants to. I think he likes the idea of these guys being arrogant and flashy, and I'm not mad that A.J. Brown wants targets more. That's just a competitor. It's like, well, but he's kind of bitching about it and being a little toxic.
Yeah.
And I think he thinks that toxic environment creates a level of competition in the professional world, and I just don't see it that way. I'm not a Sirianni guy. I don't love the extracurriculars around him, Big Dom, etc. Nothing against Big Dom. If that guy followed me around and protected me from everybody, I'd talk a lot of S. That's a big man.
Yes, it is.
But I just think, it's very reminiscent of Philly.
Connections to waste management.
It's very, very reminiscent of Philly. It's brash. It's verbose. It's
Which
our
Sirianni
S don't
isn't.
stink. Right. And I wonder how long the leash will be on Sirianni because I don't like this team to go far in the playoffs. I just don't know if that offense is going to muster enough. And this isn't an anti-Jalen.
Yeah.
It's not an anti-Saquon, AJ, or Devonta, or anybody on that
It's
offense.
it is.
It's anti-O-line.
That's what I was to say. It's
And
anti-O-line.
And it's anti-scheme.
Yeah.
Like, I don't love what I see from them.
But because they have so many weapons and their defense is so good, whether it's Jalex Hunt, whether it's Jomo, whether it's Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean, Zach Bond, Nolan Smith Jr., Jalen Carter, Byron Young, like just go down the list.
Right.
Like it's just, and that's just in the front.
But you've got
that's before you get to the exciting whites in the back.
But you've got volatility on those players too, dude. Like, is Jalen Carter going to spit on somebody and get ejected before the game starts?
Yeah.
I know that's only one situation, but how many times have you heard Jalen Carter has been scratched from a game shortly before kick?
Yeah.
3 times this
Yeah.
year? Like that's a cause for concern.
It is, but they also, this is kind of like, oh, you have that. That's cool. We have a Hulk because here's Jordan Davis.
I know you don't love the Niners, and I think you're very just in thinking that. I'm going to take the Niners to win this game.
I think talent wins out here. When you've got, on that defense, we talked about that front, but you've got Quinyon Mitchell, you've got Blankenship, you've got DeJean, you've got Makuba. Like, your secondary is just filthy. Your secondary is filthy.
I think the Niners have an opportunity to do kind of what Ole Miss did last night. Let Christian McCaffrey be explosive.
Yeah,
if he can break one off, it might be all it needs.
We saw Seattle bottle him up.
I
Now,
know.
Seattle's a better defense, but Philly's defense is still really good.
The blueprint is there, too.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy didn't play well in that game either. So if you shut down Purdy and you shut down... I don't know. This isn't a me loving the Niners pick at all.
No.
This is me just hating the Eagles.
Yeah, I don't like either of these teams. I just like San Francisco less.
Now, I'll tell you what. If Jalen Hurts shows up, not that he doesn't show up, but if he shows up in a Trinidad Shambliss kind of way, just to continue to use that as an analogy, Hurts has the skill to put that team on his back and do it.
And the playoffs are a different beast. This is a guy that's been there, done that. Like, we give Rodgers all the credit for all of his success. It's Rodgers, then Stafford, then it's, Josh and Jalen. And Jalen's the one who's gotten it done. Like, so you do it in a weird, twisted sort of way, despite all of the stuff around Philadelphia. You still do have to, they've done it last year. They know how to do it. And look, you always, this is why I took the Jags kind of going in the AFC. It's like how you're playing going in. Eagles aren't coming in flying, but they also didn't really play anybody last week. So, they're healthy-ish, and they're hoping that is enough to kind of get things going. I'm not going to push against them as much as I'm going to push against the 49ers.
Fair. I think this is the one game of the weekend. There is no outcome that would shock me.
No
outcome. One team blows out the other, not shocked. Close game, someone throws a pick, not shocked. I just, if the Panthers blow out the Rams, that would shock me.
Yeah.
Okay. If the Jags or Bills blow each other out, that would shock me. Okay. I just think they're too good. It'll be close. Might pull away in the end. This game, flip a coin. As you like to say, spin the chamber.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
See how it goes.
Let's see. Their game is Sunday is the 1:30 slate as the Eagles take on the Niners and try to go back to the Super Bowl and be back-to-back champs. Let's stick in the
I guess
NFL.
it is fitting Sunday is a triple header, right? Because it's coming up this Sunday. We'll sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Let's flip over to the team that probably has the most pressure of anyone into the AFC. It's the 6th seed in the AFC. Boy, there's a lot on the line in this, and it's not even about football. Buffalo Bills will go to Buffalo next. 105.1 The Fan. in the most classic Brandon Sprague thing on the entire planet. That dude is the most negative Nancy for a dude having a great life I've ever met.
Over here talking about now he's not going to be a grandparent.
Yeah,
he's not going to live long enough.
He's got beautiful daughters, beautiful wife, has a great job. You know, he living the high life, and he's like,
Dude, he's still a youngin'.
right?
He's still a youngin'.
He's like, if I make it that far to be a grandparent, bro, you got a 14-year-old. You're not 70 now.
Look,
she could have a kid in like 10 years.
in my teens and early 20s, I said if I made it to 60, they'd be successful. Because look, I should have died a half dozen times. Like, that's not like a joke. I legitimately should have died a half dozen times.
Literally during the break, he asked me, he's like, "Hey Russ, do you expect it to make it to 89?" And I said, "Absolutely, the F not."
89's a long way. That's more than double what I'm at right now. I don't expect
I
that.
was like, honestly, look at me. I'm lucky to if I'm going to make it to 50 next August.
I'm expecting a massive heart attack in about 76. I'm watching The Pit again to get ready for the new season.
Oh yeah,
And there are
good show.
two different characters
Good show.
throughout the first season that come in and they're like, "Yeah, what's wrong with me?" And they're like, "Mr. Rust, you're suffering a heart attack right now." And they're like, "Oh God, it feels like it." I don't expect to have one of those. Mine's gonna be full blown, like the heart explodes.
The Widowmaker?
Yeah.
It's gonna be like, why are you so surprised? You're an old piece of crap that hasn't done anything to take care of yourself.
I never even hit the floor. You know what I mean? Like the heart explodes and I'm out before I even go down. All right, when we let's keep in this trend here. You know, you can't count on much, but you can't always count on us expecting to die at a young age with Sundays in the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Stream your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long, starting at just $30 for your first year. That's like $250 a month. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. We're a little behind it, so let's play a little catch up here. The Buffalo Bills, all right? I don't think there's really anything you need to say about the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen's the reigning MVP. For my money, he's must-watch TV. Can throw the Superman cape on when he needs to. Sometimes he's asked too much. I don't think there is a team in the NFL playoffs with more pressure on them, and it's not even close, than the Buffalo Bills. I don't think the pressure is on Josh. If Josh goes out, if the Bills go out there and lose to the Jags, when are they? They are on Sunday. They're the morning game on Sunday.
I guess the morning game.
If they go out there and lose to the Jags, hell, even if they lose by 3 scores, I doubt I will put it on Josh. I think it falls squarely on Sean McDermott, the GM, and how this roster is built. Right now, for my money, if the Buffalo Bills do not make a Super Bowl appearance, I'm out on McDermott. I'm already out on McDermott, but I need a reason. And I think if he loses, whether it's this Sunday or next Sunday, I think it's time for new leadership.
Well, I think if they lose this Sunday, then their window is closing shut
Real quick.
super fast.
Real quick. You can't keep wasting Josh Allen's talents.
No.
Because if he continues to play the way he plays, injuries will start to creep up. So, as smart as Josh Allen is, what he's going to do is evolve his game. Okay, kind of like what Matt Stafford did. Patrick Mahomes is going through that right now. We might be that in Lamar Jackson territory right now of trying to adapt your game to withstand the trials, the tribulations, the attrition that's needed to get through an NFL season. You can't keep wasting Josh. You can't.
Yeah,
it's funny because this might be the worst roster of their contending teams with the most pressure.
You know, I heard Jeff Saturday talking about what team in the playoffs has the best offensive line remaining, like running the ball. Bills.
Yeah, and they have a great running attack.
And that's
James Dalvin Cook III.
But defensively, they're still kind of dinged up.
Mm-hmm.
Can they dictate? Can the guys on the outside deliver? You know, offensively for them, and that's the question, right? Is we know what they are through the middle offensively. You know what the quarterback's capable of.
Mm-hmm.
Selfishly, I want to see Josh Allen get there.
Without a doubt.
I love him. I love him.
Without a doubt. I want Lamar to win a Super Bowl. I want Josh to win a Super Bowl. I want Joe to win it. Wow. I want Joe to win. I don't know if I want the Bengals to win.
Joe can win one for the Raiders.
Joe can go win one for the Raiders.
Silverback,
Yes.
baby.
Here's a stat I saw yesterday on Josh Allen and his running stats. He has the highest rushing success rate in NFL history.
Of any player, not a quarterback, of any player.
Anybody. And so that stat, it says here, that stat counts when you gain at least 40% of the yards needed on first down, 60% on second down, or 100% on third/fourth down, divided by total rushes. Josh Allen, number one, and you're going to think this is a quarterback stat because the top 3 are all quarterbacks. But Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Michael Vick, Kyron Williams, Larry Kinnebrew, I don't know who the heck that is, Gus Edwards, Randall Cunningham, Larry Zonka, number 8.
What up? Undefeated Larry Zonka.
But yeah, so highest rushing success rate in NFL history. That means when he needs to get the yards, he gets them.
Look, if you take the names off this game and it's just Team A versus Team B, I would go Jacksonville. But this is definitely why I don't gamble. And this is probably why I'm such a softie and a snowflake, because I got a bunch of friends who are from Rochester, Cooperstown, Buffalo, etc., who this would mean the world to them if they won a Super Bowl. We talk about, Andy Dirt Johnson, what it would mean if the Oregon Ducks win a natty. Like, there are people that would give anything for this. The Bills are the team that want it the most. And although if it were Team A versus Team B, I would take the Jacksonville Jaguars to win this game. I'm going to ride with Josh. I kind of have to. It's almost the reverse of the Chiefs, okay? Like, you don't want the Chiefs to win, but you won't count them out until they're out.
Right. Yeah. I get it.
I'm that way with Josh.
I stuck that way all season with the Chiefs.
I'm that way with Josh, but in a positive way. I want him to do it. I really want him to do it. And this is the best opportunity he's ever had. No Lamar, no Joe, no Mahomes.
Yep.
This is your shot, buddy.
Look, I 100% want it, but that Jacksonville team is just playing so damn good.
Agreed. If it's Team A versus Team B, it's Jacksonville.
If you just take the names off of it and you give me the profiles of both teams and what they have done over the last 5-6 weeks and how they're playing going in, legitimately, to both of you guys, is any team over the last 5 weeks playing better football than Jacksonville Jaguars?
Maybe the Seattle Seahawks.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Seattle's offense can be clunky at times.
Where the Jags offense
has
been bonkers, and so has their defense.
Lawrence is rolling.
I love my Easter Island head, Trevor Lawrence. Yeah. Also, and I'm not sure if it's the league or the broadcast partners that did us such a disservice in terms of scheduling this weekend's broadcast windows. There is zero reason why Bills Jaguars should be leading it off at 10 a.m. on Monday.
No, that should be middle of the day.
Well,
that should be Monday night.
It should be Monday night instead of Texans Steelers, because who gives an S about that?
Well, you know why? Steelers are one of the biggest brands in the entire country, and putting that, you can't put the Jags and Bills as much as
again. Like I said, I don't know if it's the NFL. I don't know if it's the broadcast partners.
It's both.
Troy's going to want to talk about Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
But I mean, not just that. It's the Steelers are ubiquitous. Like, if you're going to put a standalone game in the playoffs on a Monday night, it's going to feature one of Green Bay, Pittsburgh, Dallas, Las Vegas,
maybe the Niners.
And I'd say maybe the Niners. Like, if you're talking about and the Giants, like, those are probably the 5 teams that I would go with it, like, nationally, because New York obviously is going to have that.
How about even instead of that? Let's not say Bills Jaguars on Monday night. You push Bills Jaguars to the Sunday night game, and that Chargers Patriots moves to Monday.
That's marquee. Yeah.
Chargers Patriots Monday night.
I said you moved because that currently is the Sunday night one.
Yeah, that's true. That one's a weird one for Sunday night.
But so what I'm saying is, if you move the Bills Jaguars to Sunday, and then you put Chargers Patriots on Monday, and you put those Texans Steelers at 10 a.m. on Sunday.
I wouldn't put Chargers Patriots on Monday night just because they're not national standalone brands. Neither of them are.
Niners Eagles.
That you can.
Oh yeah.
That you can.
We're way against it, but I'm going to ask this question. I don't think it's just get rid of McDermott. I think if they lose, you clean house. Start from scratch. New GM, new head coach, new coordinators. I like Joe Brady. He's going to get a job somewhere.
Yeah.
If you fire Joe Brady, he's going to get a job. Sean McDermott comes on the market. He's right behind Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Dolphins take him in a heartbeat. Cardinals take him in a heartbeat.
Okay, so
Tennessee take him in a heartbeat.
So then here's the thing: is what we always say is when you're getting ready to dump out your head coach, what do you got in mind?
Exactly.
For the next step.
And I think if you are Buffalo, I think you look at Harbaugh. I think you look at Harbaugh.
Oh God,
John.
Look,
Harbaugh and Mike McDaniel.
Harbaugh's waiting to see what team loses.
I think he's waiting to see
Philly,
if the Packers job
Buffalo,
opens.
Green Bay.
Yep.
One of those 3 jobs.
I think he's going to Miami.
Why?
Because of his ties to Ross.
Because he's tight with the Ross family,
Yeah,
and the Ross family is tight with Michigan, and the Ross family is tight with the Harbaughs.
Yeah, but
John's not Jim. John's not Jim.
He's not.
John didn't play quarterback.
But here's
the thing. But they're tight with Jack as well.
Yeah,
I believe.
it's that family's different.
Yeah.
If you're tight with one, you're tight with all of them.
All right, Harbaugh. You want to take the Miami job? I'll see you later. Catch me
That's-
when it's your next job.
Well, guess what? And you know what? The thing is, there's worse jobs that you could go take over, because guess what? If you go down there, you're probably going to get a clean slate as far as the personnel goes.
Oh, you're going to
on the
restart.
field. You're not going
But
with
do
Tua.
you want to rebuild, or do you want to take over the Giants with Jackson Dart? Do you want to take over the Packers with Jordan Love? Do you want to take over the Bills with Josh Allen? Do you want to take over the Eagles with that roster?
Do you want to take over Miami with Quinn Ewers? Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, that's
Well, again, like I said, you start over there. You get your chance to again make your mark on it, just like you did for the last 18 years with the Ravens.
X marks the spot. We come back. Let's get into it. All right. Feeling better or worse about a rematch? Oregon, Indiana, Natty Championship berth on the line, and dare I say, a national championship on the line. It's Oregon, Indiana. We'll go there next. Our Deuce, 105.1 The Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Jeff Rust here with your Sports Center update. First on the Fan, Duck fans, guess what? The Peach Bowl is here. 4:30 kick on ESPN. Your number 5 Oregon Ducks against number 1 Indiana for the right to face Mario Cristobal and Miami for the national championship. The Ducks are 3.5-point dogs. Coverage here on the Fan starts at the top of the next hour with Dirt and Anthony Newman live from the Washington Square Thirsty Lion for Ducks Game Day. Stick around after network coverage for the Ducks postgame scoreboard show with Joe Fisher and Jordan Schultz. A little breaking news out of college football. The NCAA denying Ole Miss quarterback Trinidad Chambliss a 6th year of eligibility, ending his college career. This decision comes after a verbal denial last month, but Ole Miss can still appeal the decision. And in the association, the Trailblazers have won 4 straight, 6 of their last 7. They host the Rockets tonight, 7 o'clock tip on KUNP, 2.2 on your antenna, Xfinity Channel 302 or 1016 for you 4K folks. Jeremy Grant, Chris Murray are both out. Drew Holiday upgraded to doubtful. He's been out since November 14th with a right calf injury. The Blazers are 6.5-point dogs. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Russ from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of prime time with Isaac and Sue. Weekdays 3 to 7. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
All right, hour number deuce, missing the first hour. You can jump back in the Odyssey podcasts, 1051thefan.com, the YouTube, rewind, fast forward, except in the future, because that would be impossible. The Ducks are in the Peach Bowl, and the Fan is hitting the road with a watch party at the Thirsty Lions Washington Square location. Dirt and Anthony Newman are on their way down there as we speak, getting things started with Ducks game presented by Coors Light on location at noon, preceding this fine program as we are bumped for the boys down there. Join the Fan Friday. That's today, January 9th, at the Thirsty Lions Washington Square location for the rematch of Oregon and Indiana in the college football playoff semifinals, Danny. And that's the key word there, huh? Rematch. That's the key word.
Indeed.
We've seen some of these rematches. You know, we saw Ole Miss, Georgia. That was a rematch. That went different.
Good game.
Ole Miss, Tulane. That was a rematch. Not a good game.
Nope.
And here we are. I mean, I think it is fair to say these are the two best teams of the Final Four. Now, Miami last night is starting to turn some heads a little bit, and I think people are realizing we might have undervalued Miami. Not this program, my friends. Not this program. But this game does feel like a lot of juice on it, not just a berth in the national championship, but whoever wins will be favored to win the national championship, whether it be a large margin or a small margin. I think when it comes to rematch, Danny, if we've kind of teased this all week, Oregon is a much better team right now than they were when they lost to Indiana, correct?
Yes.
I think they have leaps, not leaps and bounds, but they have continually progressed on that transition. You have 56-10 win, 21-7 ugly win against Wisconsin in terrible weather, a gritty 18-16 against Iowa, 42-13 Minnesota on a Friday night, 42-27 over USC, 26-14 over UW. You are peaking at the right time. Mm-hmm. Then you add James Madison. I don't really care about the fourth quarter points personally, and an absolute manhandling of Texas Tech. Mm-hmm. You are peaking at the right time. The problem is so is Indiana.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing.
That's the problem. Indiana
is not the same team that you played at Autzen.
If you could make an argument that Oregon, let's just for pretends make the argument that Oregon has made the most improvement since that game of any team in the nation. Okay, the answer might be Ole Miss. The answer might be Miami. I'm not sure. But let's, for funs and giggles, say that Oregon has made the biggest improvement since October in terms of how good of a team is. Indiana might have done the same thing. Mm-hmm. Danny Cannell said yesterday on our show, that Alabama team, for my money, is not very good. I agree with him. Alabama-Oklahoma was the worst matchup of the first round, in my opinion, because at least Tulane and James Madison have a shock factor if they win. But gave me nothing Oklahoma-Alabama. No. And Alabama gets routed by Indiana. But Cannell said this yesterday as well. I think we expected Indiana to handle Alabama. They stomped them.
Yes, and they did it early. They said, nope, we're going to snuff this. I mean,
that game was so out of hand that it got ratings to watch Bama get blown out.
Yes, that hit on Ty Simpson was just like, here's the thing, and we've kind of beat this drum a little bit. Indiana's talent profile is not nearly as high as Miami or Oregon's. I mean, of the three teams remaining currently, they have the lowest talent profile.
Well, aren't they like 70th in the nation, something like that?
But how many of these guys are going to be in the NFL next year? A lot of them.
And it's so strange to think that they're number 70 because I think from a
It's
person,
based on their high school recruiting stats, not who they are right now.
from their personnel, offense, defense, special teams. They're the best team in the country, and it's not close for me.
Now, do they not have the size? Yeah. Go look at what they're doing in the transfer portal.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting 6'4", 280-pound defensive ends. Like they're just going and grabbing. They're going, we want that, we want that, we want that, we want that, because that's the only shortcoming they have is they don't have the beef. Remember the talk coming into Oregon, Indiana. Well, Indiana's weak at that right tackle. What ended up happening?
They ran the ball
right down Oregon's throat.
We talked about that right side all week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think even Dusty kind of gave us a little bit of a sneak peek, and he was like, "Look at that right side of the O line. It's not very good."
Turned out just fine.
Yeah, and let's take Fernando Mendoza versus Dante Moore. They've both improved.
Mm-hmm.
They've both improved. Dante's a better athlete than Mendoza.
Mendoza's a better quarterback.
Maybe. And so that's where this rematch
he
comes.
did win the Heisman Trophy.
Yeah.
He did. I don't mean to take away by any means. They've both improved since then.
Mm-hmm.
Mendoza won a Heisman. Dante shows me the athleticism he's got. That's why this game gets so hard and so weird to try and predict. Because if Indiana, let's say Indiana lost a game, okay, went to the Big Ten title game, still beat Ohio State, was the 2 seed, and they're still here right now, I still might think Indiana's the better team. But they haven't struggled. You know, their roughest situation.
Their two struggles were Penn State and Ohio State.
And that Penn State game was on the road in Penn State, and Penn State threw everything they had.
That was
at
their
them.
Super Bowl.
They threw everything they had at them. And I mean, look at this team this year. 63-10 against then ranked number 9 Illinois. 63-10.
Mm-hmm.
They put 56 on a fun upstart UCLA team with little New Weasel down there.
Remember they had a little something going, and then they stomped them into a mud hole.
56-6. The next week they go to Maryland. Look at these teams.
Look
are
what
good.
Look what they did to Purdue. Look what they did to Wisconsin.
55-10. Wisconsin 31-7. Alabama 38-3.
And again, we can talk about Alabama not being as good. Talent profile, they're good.
They're very good.
And
Ty Simpson is going to be the third quarterback taken if Dante goes out.
And here's the thing, and it's going back to that Oregon Indiana game. Do you remember who was pure unadulterated nightmare fuel for them? It wasn't Stephen Daly. It was Isaiah Jones.
Yes.
46, a linebacker. That was the dude that was everywhere for them.
And they also have emergence at wide receiver. You know,
Well, I mean,
Oregon's
they've got-
done the same thing.
But-
Oregon dealt with injuries and guys had to step up.
But Indiana has dudes.
They have dudes. Like their number ones aren't number ones anymore. Their 2s and 3s aren't 2s and 3s.
No, I mean, Omar Cooper Jr. and Elijah Surratt are both absolute studs on the edge.
Without a doubt, but give me Charlie Becker.
Yeah.
Okay? He comes out of nowhere.
Yeah,
and all of a sudden,
EJ.
All of a sudden, he kind of looks like maybe your best target right now.
He's made some big plays for him.
And that's where it gets so tricky in this rematch because they're not the same team, but they're the same teams, right? If I have $10 and you have $11 and we both get $100, you still have more money than I do.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel that's kind of where we are here. I would honestly, from the first game, throw it out. You were talking about this with Rockets and Blazers. Whatever happened in the first game, throw it out.
Yeah.
I think this is a whole new, as John Madden used to say, not only is that a first down, it's a whole new set of 4 downs.
Here's the thing, though, and this is what is probably, I don't want to say it's lingering. If you're Oregon and you're Lanning and that staff, I want to give them the benefit out and say it's not bothering them or it's not there, but it's going to be because they're human. Lanning in his rematches hasn't done well.
It's true.
He just hasn't.
And they are against good programs.
Yes.
It's Ryan Day,
Yeah,
it's
no.
Kalen DeBoer, it's et cetera. They're good
I'm
programs
not-
that he's losing to.
This isn't like cutting Lanning down.
Sure.
This is just a thought in the back of my head. Do they overthink something? Do they get a little too cute? Do they change who they are? Do they not go for fourths? Or do they get more conservative in that regard? You know what I mean? Like
you start
those
second guessing yourself.
those are the things that I'm watching if the game's close. You know what I mean?
I bet you Lanning will stick to his guns.
I do too.
Because I bet you he's just the kind of guy that goes, if I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down how
I'm
I
gonna go down my way.
Yep.
I'm still taking Indiana.
I know
I
you
think,
are.
and it's everybody's like, oh, it's because you hate the Ducks. No, it's because I think, and I've said this through the season, I think Indiana's the best team in the country.
Let's get into this game, all right? Let's talk about pluses, cons, where it lies, how it's going to go down, what you see, and we'll talk a little bit about that running back room as there's more news out of the running back room with, at this
DED
point,
dead.
just wrap everyone in bubble wrap and let's get the hell out of here. More on Oregon, Indiana next. This is Portland Sports Leader. Don't you forget it. 105.1 the FM and 1080 AM. Make sure you enter to win a 4-pack of tickets to the 66th Annual Portland Boat Show. It was on Thursday, the 7th, goes all the way through Sunday, the 11th. Check out the best prices, top brands. Compare hundreds of boats to buy, all under one roof at the Portland Expo Center. Enter now, 1051thefan.com, or grab 2-for-1 discount coupons at pdxboatshow.com.
Wait, Thursday the what?
It says Thursday the 7th. It's just what it says. Okay, dude. Okay, the 7th was on Wednesday. Yeah. Thursday's the 8th. I don't know what the answer is.
I think if it goes through Sunday, that is the 11th, so that makes sense.
It also tells me to read this once per show through the 10th, which is tomorrow, and I'm not here tomorrow. So I don't, Rusty.
That sounds like a Sports Saturday problem.
Hey, if you can get a hold of my boss, you let me know, because I've been trying to get a hold of him too. We'll continue this conversation of the Oregon Ducks and Indiana Hoosiers.
Oh, we're not going to talk about the Nike Hoop Summit roster?
No, did it come out?
It just came out.
Oh, okay. Look at you. You're all tickled.
I'm all excited. It's one of it's my favorite scouting thing.
Hey, you got something to do for the next 4 hours before the game starts. Yeah. You can just dive into that.
Didn't you hear that thud under the table in there?
Danny, put your pants back on. Oregon, Indiana, we talked about how this game, how rematches are not so simple these days, especially with these two teams. Let's dive into this game right away. Look, the new news out of the running back room, as if it couldn't get any worse, is that Noah Whittington is now listed as questionable.
Our running backs' heads are falling off.
Yeah, this is really weird for a team that navigated injuries, attrition all season long.
De'Aaron Hill, every down back.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to like that.
Cannell brought this up, what I thought was pretty poignant. Pass pro.
Yep.
That's where this becomes a problem.
Well, and tell you what, two things. Welcome back, Sports Center anchor Jay Harris.
Yes, no kidding, dude.
And then,
I figured his eligibility was up 30 years ago because he's like 50.
But also, like I said, I think yesterday, I think you can probably expect with that running back room being so thin, look for some more like screen passes out the edge.
I think so too, yeah. Or passing to wide receivers.
As like an extension of the running game.
Totally. I think you're going to have to because... Look, there's no denying that Will Stein loves to run the ball. There's no deny that Dan Lanning believes in the philosophy that all NFL coaches say, where it starts with running the ball.
Run the ball.
You got it, baby. You got to run the football. But Oregon is going to it's going to be a really big challenge to make up those numbers. They've been a really good rushing team all season.
Bryce Betcher, Sadiq,
they might just
expect them to be in the backfield.
Yeah, they might just be in the backfield to do pass protection.
It wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me at all because
put Johnson in at one of the tight end spots. Put Sadiq in the backfield, like
a little fullback. Bryce Betcher.
Would not surprise me.
Yeah,
like legitimately, like they're look. I'm not just saying this because I want to give Oregon crap. Like this is a problem. 3 of your top 4 running backs are gone.
It is a problem, but
it's a giant problem.
They also made it through for a few weeks a very, very thin wide receiver room and made it work. And what did they do? They utilized Kenyon Sadiq that much more and Jamari Johnson, and so they made
Malik
it work.
Benson and
McClellan.
Thank you.
So they've already had to go through a very, very thin position group. Now this is it's a similar but different challenge.
But what I would argue is
this one's more impactful.
Not just more impactful, the depth was there in the wide receiver room. Okay? Remember we started at the beginning of the year. We had Tyson Algeron on Wednesday, and we were talking about the depth. We didn't expect Jordan Davison to be such a big player in this system. Hell, we didn't even think De'Aaron Hill would be such a big player. No. It was Lamar that we thought was going to be the dude in this system. Or Hughes, one of those two guys. Now, as the season progressed, this team found what their rushing game was going to be. The problem is it excluded a lot of dudes. And in today's world, if you're preseason, I'm going to be the guy, and by week 4, you ain't the guy, hello, transfer portal. Hello, graduation. Hello, NFL, whatever
Guy Hughes, Jane Lamar.
See you later. And so they still had Malik Benson and McClellan and Johnson, and they had backups that could step in for DeCorian Moore and Gary Bryant Jr. And if Sadiq missed a couple games, etc., you don't have that in the running room. And
with Lamar and Hughes leaving, that adds to it.
And I think now this might open up to get what I want to see, just because I want to see
putting it on Dante's shoulders.
But I don't know if that's where you feel good.
No.
Because I want to see this offense open up. I want to see if Dante can push the ball downfield, can continue drives, get in the end zone, red zone efficiency, don't turn the ball over, don't take sacks, etc. Run when you need to. I want to see that because I want to know how good Dante is. But in this
Do
game,
you want to find out in this game?
against this team, I don't think you want to find out now.
Because here's the thing, like
If it's the Natty, throw the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
Who cares? Just throw it all out and see what happens. But you have a chance to win this game. I don't want to put anything in there that could be a chance to lose this game.
Well, here's where you go.
And you know me, I love Dante more than his mama does.
You go with the two-sided kitchen sink.
the double bowl
There you go.
so when I look at this is the discussion you and I have had off air a lot this year.
We talk a lot about this.
And it's my belief is that the reason why you haven't seen Dante Moore unleashed is because he's at this point in his career, he's not capable of being unleashed. And I'm not saying Will Stein is the best offensive coordinator in the country.
I would push back and say maybe not ready.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes. But capable, I think he can.
Well, I think ready and
I don't know if he's ready.
But that's the thing is, I don't think you can be capable unless you're ready.
Okay,
does that
fair.
make sense?
I hear you.
And I'm not saying that Stein is faultless.
No.
Just coaching in general around the country, and yes, you can point to Cristobal and Herbert. Like there's coaches that don't maximize guys all the time.
We also sometimes find our little situations to explain our narratives
we want to see.
Yeah.
This is not an Oregon specific thing. You've heard me talk about this with JJ McCarthy and what Harbaugh said about him being the best quarterback. Then why didn't you have him throw the ball because your offense sucked?
Without a doubt.
If you've got a dude that can do dude things, what do you have him do?
Dude things. I mean, look, using Michigan as a great example. Look at Underwood in their bowl game against Texas. He threw the ball. Like, what are we doing here?
Well, it took him all year to be able to, actually do something.
But they're never really trying.
No. But I also think that's part coaching, but I also think it took him a long time to get going.
I mean, it's true freshman. Look at Julian Sayin.
Yes.
And on the other side of that rivalry, look at Julian Sayin.
And so when I look at that and I see a coach who consistently has, it's not like Oregon doesn't have talent. They have talent everywhere. And if you're in a game, think about this. In every high leverage situation, Dante has made a throw. Gary Bryant Jr., Penn State. Was it McClellan or Benson up the middle against Iowa? I can't remember who it was.
I think it's Benson.
Yeah.
Also Benson in the UW game.
On the edge, on the out route. He's made throws, and Cannell brought that up. Like, the individual throws are there. But, come winning time, where does the ball go?
Can you
turn right, turn left?
Can you have multiple of those throws, not in a game, but in a drive?
Yep.
Can you consistently
string it together?
do that?
And that's the thing is,
I think
he's got the talent,
right?
But I don't know if they think that he's ready for that. But here's the problem. Now you may not have a choice.
You don't. I don't think you do. Even if Whittington is good to go, let's say he can play the whole game, you're still thin. You're still so thin back there in what you've built. Okay? Noah's kind of been your every down back. Davison's been your touchdown vulture. Mm-hmm. And Dier Hill is the
change of pace.
Malachi Tony, let's get wild sort of thing over here.
Well, and if we are leaning on the wide receiver screen game as an extension of the run game, what we got to make sure is that Dante doesn't go again like last game and throw 5 balls into the chest of a defender.
Totally. Because Indiana's going to catch those balls. Texas Tech's secondary is not very good. They had that great front seven, but that secondary was not very good. And it bailed Dante out a little bit in some times. I think if you're a Duck fan, and this is probably what will skew my prediction in this game, I think there were already a lot of pressure on Dante to win this game, as there just naturally is as a quarterback in these giant games, with no fault of his own, and him not doing anything different. Mm-hmm. The expectations have risen.
Yes.
Whether it's fair or not, the expectation has risen.
That's
part of being quarterback.
Yeah, when you're the quarterback, that's the deal.
You ever think Peyton Manning never, ever got rid of that pressure?
No.
Ever.
Even when at the end, when he was throwing ducks.
Even when he was throwing ducks and won a Super Bowl.
Still going to come back to him.
Still going to come back to him because you're the QB.
Yep.
Every once in a while, you get a guy like Drew Brees where you're like, we like you. You're so great. He never had to deal with that pressure because his peers did. Peyton Manning and Tom Brady took that pressure on for him. And Roethlisberger.
And here's the sign. If you're a Duck fan and Dante does go out in there and do that, we'll talk about this. We've talked about it off air. This might end up being the best win that this program's ever had.
If Dante goes out there and balls out,
throws 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, just goes off,
and they win that game, Dante's going to the draft and he's going number 1. Hello, buddy. Vegas.
I don't know about that.
Hello, Vegas. If he does that, this will be the biggest win in Oregon history.
I tend to agree.
Because if you win a natty, that will be the biggest win. But up to this point, you've lost natties. That Mariota, Jameis Winston game, that's a pretty big W.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big W in your life. This is the biggest game of your program's history. Well,
win.
No.
If they win.
If they
Yes.
win, will be the biggest win in your program's history. Just because of what it takes
To get there.
To get there now.
Especially now.
Especially your side of the bracket. You took on the best front seven in all the college football playoff, and now your reward is the Heisman Trophy winner?
Enjoy.
And your reward after that is the coach that helped bring your program back? That's a hell of a ride.
Yep.
We'll see how that goes. We got one more stop in the NFL to make. It's the Los Angeles Rams, huh? Can they pull it off? Can Stafford grab another one and maybe ride into the sunset? We'll do that next. But first, the Big Kahuna with sports.
I hear they got some tasty burgers.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, the Peach Bowl is here. 4:30 kick on ESPN. Your number 5 Oregon Ducks against number 1 Indiana for the right to face Mario Cristobal and Miami for the national championship. The Ducks are 3.5-point underdogs. Coverage right here on the Fan starts at the top of the hour. Dirt and Anthony Newman, live from the Washington Square Thirsty Lion for Ducks Game Day. Stick around after network coverage for the Ducks post-game scoreboard show with Joe Fisher and Schultze. A little breaking news out of college football a little bit ago. The NCAA, denying Ole Miss quarterback Trinidad Chambliss a 6th year of eligibility, ending his college career. This decision comes after a verbal denial last month. Ole Miss now, though, they can still appeal the decision. And in the association, the Trailblazers, they've won 4 straight, 6 of their last 7. They host the Rockets tonight. 7 o'clock tip on KUNP, 2.2 on your antenna, Xfinity Channel 302 or 1016 in 4K. Jeremy Grant, Chris Murray are both out. Drew Holiday upgraded to doubtful. He's been out since November 14th with a right calf injury. The Blazers are 6.5-point dogs. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Russ from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Sports Saturday with Joe Fisher and Rashad Taylor. Saturday mornings at 9 on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Closing arguments coming up next to send you on your way. We'll take our picks and finish up our conversation about the Oregon Ducks and the Indiana Hoosiers. Big game tonight, Danny. I don't know if you know that. Big game tonight.
Blazers Rockets?
Big game tonight. Şengün playing tonight?
No.
Is he out for a while?
Like a week or two.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. There is a Blazer game tonight at 7 at the Moda Center. Head on down. Say what's up. Danny will be there.
I will.
I will not be there. We will finish up our NFL chatter here and then get back into Oregon, Indiana. Look, I hear some of you on the text line. I know. I screwed up. Probably don't need to be talking about NFL today in our short little 2-hour show.
It's all right.
But it's all right. Our final team going into the playoffs will be the Los Angeles Rams. Not too far removed from a Super Bowl. 12-5 with, I think, what most people assume is the MVP, Matt Stafford.
Video game numbers. Remember, coming into the season, the reason I had no idea about the Rams is because Matthew Stafford had a 10-inch needle shoved into his spine.
4,700 yards passing will do that for you. 46 touchdowns.
6 touchdowns, 8 picks.
Yep, that's pretty nice.
Ugh.
And when you go through this team and you look at their wins and losses, okay, obviously they've got a lot of wins. They're 12-5. They have a loss against the Eagles, which has a blocked field goal to run back for a touchdown. Okay, that shifted that whole game right there. All right? Your next loss is the San Francisco 49ers at home on a primetime game that you should have won.
Yep.
That you kind of peed down your leg a little bit. Your next loss is in some wild shootout on the road against Carolina Panthers.
Where you just went weird.
Who went really weird. Stafford had a really bad game. And they're in the playoffs, albeit, under 500, but they're in the playoffs. Then you have a loss to the Seattle Seahawks. Again, a game you shouldn't have lost.
Nope.
Sam Darnold threw 2 interceptions in that game, and you lost that game.
On the road in overtime.
In the overtime, again on primetime. Now, this Falcons loss, I don't know if that's a hangover from realizing you're out on the division.
Just keep in mind,
And also, Raheem Morris got that team playing well at the end of the year.
the difference in points scored between your 2 games to the Seahawks is 2.
Yes.
2 points.
And you had 6 turnovers from one player. That gotta sting. That's gotta sting.
Yep.
Division rival. That's gotta sting. But dare I say, the Eagles, the Bills, and these Rams here are probably your odds-on favorites to win the Super Bowl in the sense of they've been here, they have established quarterbacks, veterans, etc. As much as I love Seattle, this group of Seattle has got some fresh demons to slay. Let's not forget what the Broncos looked like last year against the Bills. Now, they weren't ready. It was a nice story. They're a lot more ready this year. But these Rams, similar to the Eagles, have a lot of pressure on them, I think, in the NFC.
Yeah, and honestly, the Rams are healthy. I don't
They
know.
are.
I don't know how Devontae Adams avoided tearing his hamstring.
Is that-
I don't understand how.
I don't either.
Because when he pulled up, it looked like he got shot. It looked like he got shot in the leg, and it was like, oh, buddy. And as unbelievably good as Puka was for the Rams this year, Devontae's, his catch to touchdown ratio, finished the season with 60 catches, 14 for touchdowns.
Well, Puka has been a great player this season and last season too. Devontae Adams is a borderline Hall of Famer.
Yeah. I mean, Puka's on the way to it.
Sure, but he ain't there yet.
No, Devontae's right there.
Devontae was the blanket that Stafford so desperately needed on offense. Is there a quarterback you trust more in the playoffs than Matt Stafford?
Resume-wise, Aaron. That's it. But it's those 2 guys.
Do you trust Aaron this playoff more than Matt Stafford
No.
right now?
No.
Do you
Stafford's the best quarterback right now in the NFL.
What about Josh?
No.
You think how far do the Rams go? Not do you think they can? How far do you think they go?
Let me see. What seed are they?
They're the 5.
So they're going to get reshuffled in. They're going to win this game.
They will play the lowest remaining seed. So they will get, the lowest of the high seeds.
They're going to get the Seahawks next round. They're going to get the Seahawks. So that's probably it.
Wait, is that how that math works? They're the 5 seed.
Yeah, I think the Eagles are going to beat the Niners and Bears will beat the Packers.
Then they'll play the Eagles. They'll get the 3 seed. They'll get the lowest of the top 3 because the 1 seed will get the lowest. Oh, I mean,
No, Rams
if
be
it goes
5.
if
Yeah.
it goes chalk.
Yeah, I think it's going chalk.
Who, Rams Seahawks again?
Yeah.
That game better be prime time.
Yeah, I think it's going to be chalk.
So you're saying you think that Eagles beat the Niners and the Bears beat the Packers?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I think Packers beat the Bears, which would send the Packers to Seattle.
I think the Niners beat the Eagles.
Then you'd get you know,
Which would then
Chaos.
be which
Chaos.
which would then be the Seahawks versus the Niners in the next round.
yeah.
Yeah.
If that happens,
Assuming, of course, the Bears.
if the Niners
sure.
if the Niners beat the Eagles in the pack, like if you're basically saying you're calling upsets in every round, upsets by seeding, then the Rams can go to the NFC title game.
Without a doubt.
And if you look, the whole
I want Rams Seahawks in the NFC title game.
yeah,
That's what I want.
Yeah, but for
From
that
an entertainment
for
standpoint.
that you need the Packers or the Niners to win their games.
I'm taking both of them.
Yeah, I'm not.
Let's get into closing arguments. Ready to make picks?
Yeah, let's do it.
Settle up this Oregon-Indiana game.
Little sandwich bet.
Little sandwich bet.
All
I'm
right.
down to do a sandwich bet.
Okay.
Can I do a sandwich bet if I pick the same team as you?
We can go to cover too.
Closing arguments is next. That's Danny. I'm Patrick. 105.1 The Fan.
Harris and Meringue is wrapping up for the day,
You want answers? I think I'm entitled.
which means it's time for the closing arguments. Brought to you by Leskin Law. One-day divorce mediation. Peace treaties, not war plans. Visit LeskinLaw.com for more information.
You want answers? I want the truth.
On the Fan Sports Network.
You can't handle the truth.
105.1 and 1080, The Fan.
All right, that's going to do it for us. We'll send you on your way. Closing arguments brought to you by Leskin Law. Visit LeskinLaw.com for more information. I can confirm to you the YouTube is up and working down at the Thirsty Lions Washington Square location. I just saw my good friend Andy Dirt Johnson give a little wave to the camera. So we're good to go there. Just a reminder, Dirt and Anthony Newman, they get things started right here after us at the Big Nooner. They'll take over the Big Nooner today, brought to you by Coors Light. They are on location down there at the Washington Square location of Thirsty Lion. Danny, here it is. If I look at ESPN, they have Indiana favored by 3. I will go up to A&A, our friends up there at the Sportsbook. They have Indiana by 3.5. Does the hook mean anything for you?
No, I'll still take it.
Would you have taken Indiana at 4?
Yeah.
4.5?
4.5 is probably the.
You're
That's where it
pushing
gets
it
a little
there?
dicey.
And that ESPN line has just moved down in the last couple hours too, because when I started, they had it at 3.5.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm looking live here at A&A, and they have it at 3.5. Over under 48.5. Let me do some math real quick. 24. That's possible. I'll go.
Carry the one.
I will go first here. I've been really wrestling with this all week. I think this was a pretty even matchup. I think this game still can go either way. The Jordan Davison news really hurts my heart. I will take Indiana to cover the spread of 3.5.
So here's the current spread splits. 75% of bets, 77% of the handle is on Indiana minus 3.5. Money line splits, 73% of bets, 69% of handle on Indiana minus 185. Total splits, 67% of bets, 73% of handle on over 48.5. So they're expecting points in this game, but they're also expecting Indiana to cover and win outright.
So that's all the. Does that mean, is that all the public bets basically? Is that what we're looking
That's
at? We're looking at
overall.
Well,
Sharps
right.
in
But
yet?
I don't have sharps
versus the
Yeah.
sharps.
We probably won't have sharps for another 10
2
minutes.
hours. Oh, 10 minutes? You
Well,
think?
I think we'll get the first push on sharps in at about noon.
I really want to take Oregon in this game, especially because I think Dante's going to have an amazing game. And I want to see that. I want to see that just as a development center from a quarterback. I've kind of seen that from Mendoza. You know what I mean? I've kind of seen that from Ty Thompson. I'd like to see that from Dante. So I want to see that. I just worry the deck's a little stacked now. That running back room really has me concerned. Unless they get wild and do something crazy. So I think to be conservative, I will take Indiana by 4. So I will take the 3.5. I'm sorry, there's no sandwich bet here.
No sandwich bet.
No.
Well, we can have it on Packers Bears.
I'll do a sandwich bet on that. I'll
Packers,
take
Bears?
the Packers.
Okay.
You want to just go straight up?
Yeah, straight up.
Okay. I mean, the spread's only like 1, isn't it?
It's
1.5.
it's a pick 'em.
Yeah,
Well, I
yeah.
guess I'm going to be the honk here, and I'm going to take the Ducks.
That's fine. Look, the Ducks can win this game. I'm not
can.
saying they are. Like this game's over. I'm just saying for me, for
Well,
my
like that
money.
first one, it was what? It was a 10-point final, right?
Yeah,
the first
30-20,
game?
yeah.
But it was very, very close up until the end. Basically, you know what I mean? So
I differ in that. I think Indiana beat the hell out of them. Oregon's offense managed 1 touchdown.
If Oregon can somehow figure out a run game, whether that looks like screens, passes to the outside at the line of scrimmage, however that looks like Kenyon Sadiq,
Manufacturing
Bryce
it somehow.
manufacturing it, they'll have a chance.
Yep.
I'm really worried if they can't run the ball, it's going to be a long day. Even if Dante is great, I still think not being able to run the ball is going to be a long day.
I saw somebody on the text line saying, if Oregon's offensive line doesn't care who's running back there. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do, because if that
Very
were the
much they
case,
do.
the other guys would be getting, you see more split of carries because Jordan Davison took over because he was more dominant. That's why. Like, period, full stop. Like, that's the case. Everybody would put, the Denver Broncos and what they were able to do over the years, it didn't really matter. It's like, this ain't the NFL, man. That ain't NFL running backs just lined up behind everybody, every down backs.
No,
you know what I mean? Like,
and even if Tennessee were to have the worst offensive line in the NFL, they're still professionals
Yes.
that play offensive line. Did Tennessee lose every game this year? No, they didn't.
No. You're right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like nobody lost every
Yeah.
game this year.
Nobody
Nobody ever does except
Well,
for one team.
Lions, yeah.
You know, 2 teams maybe in the history of football. So like you're still looking at professionals. In college though, it's just not the case. Larger rosters, more team. I mean, thousands of more teams. It feels like it's just not the case.
Now we're apples and oranges here likely, but I think we do need to remember that last game against Texas Tech, Oregon rushed for 64 yards at a 1.4 yards per carry clip.
They're going
And
up
won,
a
23-0.
drastically better offense.
I get it. I understand, but I'm just saying. But
The gap
between
between Baron Morton and Fernando Mendoza is
I'm just saying.
wide.
Yes, but you know what? Fernando Mendoza is not out there defending against the running game.
You know what's interesting that I don't think we've touched on enough that if we had another hour, I would get into that and I'd be interested, what Dirt and Q think down there about this. Is there no pressure on Mendoza? I don't hear us. I don't hear the Sunrise guys. I don't hear prime time. I might have missed it somewhere that somebody might have said this. But boy, it feels like Fernando's getting a free pass here. And if you're a Duck fan, if you're a Dante defender, that seems a little strange to me.
What did we see Fernando Mendoza do against Alabama?
Carve. Calm, poised.
What was he, 16 of 18?
Yeah, efficient.
3 touchdowns?
Mm-hmm.
Packed it up because he absolutely obliterated them.
He's got the Heisman Trophy. He deserves that.
Yeah.
I think it could be something we miss in this game. What if Mendoza has a clunker? Let's not forget this Oregon defense was borderline otherworldly against Texas Tech. People are calling it the greatest defensive performance in program history.
Yeah.
People are calling it Dan Lanning's coaching coup de grace.
Yeah.
I did call it his
coup d'etat.
masterpiece
Yes.
after the end of that game.
Like, let's not forget that. Oregon's offense couldn't quite get going against Texas Tech. I think the front 7 of Tech is better than Indiana. I think Indiana's unit is better than Texas Tech.
And more disruptive and an overall.
Mostly because
team
Tech's
scheme.
secondary is cheeks.
Yes. Indiana's not.
Indiana's is not. And so I will be curious if we sit here come Monday and forget to ourselves that Oregon's defense won this game. I think they can do it. They're going to have to ugly it up, and you're going to hit the under.
Yeah.
They're going to have to ugly this
Ohio
game up.
State,
Mm-hmm.
13-10.
Yep. That might be the route you have to go.
The problem is, you know what you have to do that? Ball control.
And you have to score 13 points.
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to get down the field? Open it up.
So
Send the offense.
I just want a good game. We got a great game last night. Give me another one. Give me another banger.
I just hope everybody has a good time. I'm excited. This is going to be great. Closing Arguments brought to you by Leskin Law. Visit LeskinLaw.com for more information. Leskin Law's one-day divorce mediation, peace treaties, not war plans. Stick right here on The Fan. Coverage starts right now. We'll kick it down to the Thirsty Line at Washington Square's location to Andy Dirt Johnson and Anthony Newman. Enjoy the game, everyone. Have an awesome weekend. A lot of football to get to. We'll catch you on Monday. For Danny Marang, that's Jeff Rust. I'm Patrick Harris. Go do something I would do.
Bye.